Oh no. You tell me. What the hell?
The place where Great
You're
Vale
just in time
is
to
almost
experience
able
my
to
real
touch our
power. Watch
world.
this. Even Parthox will
In the
have trouble
darkness and
defeating
depths
me
of the
now.
earth, the tree root nurses the leaf that
Yeah,
reaches to the
sure.
heavens.
Okay.
Thus, what happens above is dependent on what happens below.
I
I am Enzo Kori
I'm
Odan, King of
innocent.
Zama, son of the Odan tribe. I have come here today to claim my right to the sacred Nagando. May my Ka come forth with Nabi Kori Odan,
Your
flesh
scalp
of
has
my
changed.
flesh.
Feels the same as it's always been.
Enzo, get back. Do we do it?
Alright, I need 5 potions.
Father? What am I doing here? Who are you? Oh, soul of King Nabi Kori Odan, forgive us for disturbing you from your slumber in the Great Vale. I am Irni Kori Odan, Queen of
It's
Zama.
getting
I am
worse.
here with Enzo, your son. Enzo,
I mean, to be
Irni,
fair,
you've
I have
grown
been
up?
warning
What a
people
wonderful
it's going to
surprise.
happen
Last time I
eventually.
saw you were still children.
I would have done it
But
last
wait a
year.
minute,
except
if I'm here, that
pandemic,
means
and
you
I
have
don't wanna go out
invoked your right
unnecessarily.
to the sacred Nagando, which means only one thing, that Zama is in crisis.
What do you mean,
Yes,
wise?
Father, we're here because
give me
Zama
one
has been
second, I need
attacked
to
by
use this. I will be right back.
Kaboja. Nagarba Evo betrayed us, and the Zama Hakimas have been
Close combat,
deported
area
to
attack, burns, range
Kabuwanga.
attack, summons, and flying monsters.
We have
which
to
can't
find
be
out what
hurt.
happened with the
Traps
Boja
look
during your reign. Why did you turn down an alliance? Why did our ancestors not prepare us to face the world outside? I see, the situation is urgent, but if you invoke the sacred Nagando, then you should know there's a price to
That
pay.
spells a different object.
Yes, I know. Price. I cannot be maintained in this form without absorbing life energy. The only way to give me this is through Aurionic
Fakir's
communion.
minions, but he can,
I am curious to find
can he
out what
keep
kind
up
of
the
man
winning
you
streak?
become.
Let's
Show
find out
me
what the battle begins.
how far you've taken your legacy. King Nabi, the Kalus say, was a valiant fighter, one of the few Zamanians to have a real passion for battle. I accept your challenge, Father. Irni and I will show you who we are. Well said, but you know I won't hold back, though.
How's your weekend going? Have you had a good day today, Cat?
In order to maintain the Nagando, I'll have to go at it seriously. Your lives will be in real danger. If you're here, it means you know about the risks. I'm counting on you. It was going... Wait, he just fired a
was
shark
going
at me.
well.
Glibness.
There, it's okay. The Winnie's in... Oh, hang on. I can't pause.
Show me the pillars of your legacy.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't choose permadeath mode, because that would just been annoying and I probably would have just said, nope, this game ain't worth it.
Oh, I forgot you had
Almost dead.
little
Again.
Winnies.
So I basically revived
Those
my
things are
father
cute.
just to beat him into the ground. Got it. Aurion is flowing through me. You're almost there. Hatred of the Koros. Huh. Neat. Okay. Oh, I missed that feeling. Nama Yodi trained you well. You combined the Karu, Argat,
Yeah, I spoiled Bella Rotten too.
Arguden, and Kori Odan.
She just went to the groomers today,
Shima
so
fighting style
I
as
ended
well
up going to
with
bed
Urithi.
late. I woke up late again.
I'm very proud of your soul's pill.
But I was able
your
to finish up
pillars
Bulletstorm,
and
so
the way that your queen
what I
does
intended
honor
to do today was actually completed.
Mioni Ukuda. You've surpassed my expectations. Surpassed your expectations. Did you slumber in the Great Veil affect your memory? What? On our line spiral, you predicted my era would be chaos-filled. Given what happened at Zama, you weren't wrong, it seems. I failed, just like you expected. By Maisha, did you really go through all these years thinking I hated you that much? I must have been the worst king of Zama ever to have left my son in such a state. I was devastated when I had my era painted. I never explained to anybody why I added the color of chaos to yours, but it wasn't because I thought you would make a bad king. The truth is, I'd made such serious mistakes that you have to bear the brunt of them when your era began. That's what the mural meant.
Actually, I don't even think I posted the picture of her resting after she got back home in my Discord.
We have to find out what happened, King
I need to
Nabi.
fix that.
Father, although you might blame yourself, we have to know in order to guide our people. I see, I have no choice. Very well, I'll tell you my story, the story of the king who brought about the downfall of Zama. Several years before you were born, Enzo, I was still only the Prince of Zama. All my life I had been brought up for my future role, but I dreamt discovering the outside world.
Trap in the form of
Your grandfather and the elders of the time were very strict about foreign relations. We had to remain hidden from outside world at all costs, but nobody explained why. I'd always rebelled against following traditions I didn't understand. I dreamt of going on my Aurionic pilgrimage. I wanted to know who I was over and above my role of future king. A few weeks before my coronation, I fled to the city and I made my way towards Kamboja, the continent where my greatest Aurionics in the world. The continent where the greatest Aurionics in the world would be found. As the luck of the global Aurion would have it, I was there at the time of the dawn of forgiveness, the intertribal Aurionic communion. It was at that moment I made my biggest mistake. I fought in the tournament using Urithi. I paid no attention to it at the time, but I was the only one not to change Aurions between fights.
Chance to blind enemy, chance to cause
the princess of the Bojas, Dakini Akiran, who was organizing the tournament, noticed me and asked me where I came from. That's how I ended up naively giving her directions of how to get to Zama. That's where I also met my Aurionic link, Nama Yodi, who entered the tournament with her brother. They just come from Kabuanga, and their way of life was closer than anybody else of Zama's. Despite our rivalry during the tournament, we all became friends.
Let's do that.
Princess Dakina wanted to become a generation of Aurionics who would illustrate the unity between the tribes. Well, as the tournament ended in the most horrible way imaginable, the king of Kamboja and the crown prince had decided to position all the Aurionics from the other tribes at the victory banquet. Oh, to poison.
That should do it.
I owe my life to the fact that I was only eating meals that Mama Makala from Zama had made before I left. I was partially poisoned, however, and left for dead by the Buanga soldiers.
Book about love
Nama
potions.
Yodis
I think she's trying
was
to
saved by her brother. He'd also been poisoned, and he died protecting her from a horde of Buanga soldiers.
Shop, right? I have no monies.
Dakina would never have approved of her family's plan. She was drugged during the meal and arrested so she could be executed as an example. The former king of Boja wanted to recreate Kungu Damu on a worldwide scale. Sacrificing his idealistic daughter was a strong sign for the hardline Bojas. The Boja soldiers threw the dead bodies of the poisoned Aurionics into Dakina's cell to taunt her. Hang on, I need something to drink. That was how I was there when the Princess of Boja fully awakened. Dakina and Aurion spent the whole night killing her father, her brother, and all the Boja soldiers who had a hand in the Orionics genocide. That's how she became the new queen of the Ka-Boja. I took advantage of the confusion and crawled back to my boat and get back to Zama. I was shocked, traumatized. I now knew what a violent place the outside world was, something I'd never known before. What are you talking about, squirrel? The poison was not without its effects. My body suffered severe consequences because of the poison. It was a long return trip. I was never able to fight again. I tried to forget, but every day I would gaze into the horizon, fearing to see a Boja ship docking. Nobody came and I married your mother. I told myself that nightmare was all behind me. Alas, several months before you were born, Dakina arrived on our shores. She came in peace and explained her plans for awakening to me. She wanted Zama to entrust her with the secret of the eternal Umoja for Orionites. I refused, but I understood that she wouldn't accept this as a long-term answer. And more than that, other more dangerous people might also discover Zama. We weren't ready to deal with such pressure. Your mother died giving birth to you, and I slipped into a deep depression. I'd reaped serious consequences for my selfish dreams. It was at this point that Nama Yodi came back into our lives. She had warred tirelessly against the Boja ever since that terrible night. She had hoped seeing me again would allow her to finish her Orionic pilgrimage so she could seek vengeance. She was disappointed to see that the wreck I'd become. She wanted to leave us, but I stopped her. I begged her to teach you to pass on her inner strength to you so that way you could face up to everything that might happen afterwards. To play for extra time, I made a pact with Boja. Several young Zamanians would go and train in Boja. They would become awakened Orionites in order to defend Zama from the other tribes. That's the reason why Nagarba left Zama. I remember that when he said goodbye to our father, he said he returned to protect Zama. Yes, I only sent young people who volunteered, but they also had another secret mission. They were there to observe the Bojas and reassure Zama. I wanted to evaluate the effects of awakening on the future generation of Zamanians. Will we lose our Umoja way of life in this exchange with the Boja? Or would it be the opposite? Would we emerge from it stronger and ready to face the world? But I never got to see the results. My health was unfortunately affected by the stress. I died suddenly, leaving you no explanation. I hope Nama Yodi would have spoken to you of it, or after your coronation. I'm surprised she didn't. In hindsight, and knowing her the way I do, she probably told herself I wouldn't understand until I lived through the realities of life outside Zama first. Even if I understand more about why the attack on Zama was inevitable, our biggest question is still gone unanswered. How are you doing, Squirrel? How's your day? Why did you turn down an alliance with the Boja? Zama was founded by survivors from the Congo Damu, so why didn't our ancestors raise us to defend ourselves? Father, why does Zama exist? What is our place in life? What do we represent in terms of global Aurion? Just the same as Dakina. The answer lies in your last Orionic pillar, my son. Let me guide you towards what binds all kings of Zama together. Listen to my voice through the veil. You, the king who must tread this path towards the awakening of kings. Your path began with the fire of anger. Only those who are unhappy can change the world, but as you now know, the world is often stronger than your rage and your passion. So you learned to adapt like water from the river. Those two awakenings made you a survivor. You fought to shape the world of your image, but then you learned that others were doing just the same. Your soul has come to realize that few judgments are absolute. This perspective relativity allowed it to soar lighter than air to understand the reality of global Aurion. All of this makes you a tree with beautiful strong branches. You are able to bear fruit and draw strength from the sunlight. but no tree stands tall because of the size of its branches. No, my son, you must draw your strength from their roots. Dig deep to the land of your ancestors and you will find the solid roots of harmony. Harmony? Yes, harmony. Throughout our history, the ancestors left us many signs to remind us that this is our greatest treasure. Centuries ago, when the Akongo Damu came to pass, Nasser Kori Odan gathered together people from the tribes who wanted to live together despite their differences. Nassar traveled with them to a land where they built the city of those who never put walls between their hearts. Emoja is the name we give our craft. This word also means union. If you want to understand the essence of Zama's harmony, then meditate about our Emoja. Have you already noticed that the paintings and our sculptures are irregular when you look at them up close? And yet when you look at the overall picture you see cohesion? That is the key to Zama's harmony. Cohesion is the difference that we have built upon for centuries, and which must be protected. Earthland is what binds all the elements together. Harmony is the foundation on which you must stand to express your anger, your adaptation, and your perception of relativity from now on. I've finished my Aurionic pilgrimage. I've completed all the pillars of my soul. Have we really succeeded? How do you feel? Do you feel any difference? I can feel my potential for Aurionic fusion is full. I also feel better, but why do I feel like I haven't understood everything? That I haven't mastered everything? Is that normal? Well, that's the biggest secret about an inner quest. It never ends. The Aurionic pilgrimage is only a small stage of the soul's life for an Aurionic. What quest is left for a soul which already knows itself? When you understand who you are to yourself, you must then choose and build on what will be for others. He means that we must etch who we are onto the global Aurion so that others can follow our path and find themselves, the way of the leader. She got the whole thing. You have an amazing wife there, my son. You should take good care of that one. I don't have much time left. I want to tell you one last thing. Nadolo Mayuni Akuda Alinzi Uthiri Nu Ajusiri. Those are the names of our equipment. Yes, I'm just reminding you to look out for signs of the Emoja. They're always closer than you think. Since the very beginning, you have borne the burden of the ancestral duties of the King and Queen of Zama. Nadolo Mayuni Ikuta Alinzi Uthiri Ujirsiri means loved and supported by the wall of the heart. Protect your legacy with courage. I understand. I'm proud of you both. You are the future of Zama. Never doubt yourselves. I'll go back to my rest now. I'll remain bound to you through Ka. Well, that was interesting. Day's nearly done. Mopped floors, did all the dishes, grocery shopping, drank several wine coolers. Sounds fun. Sounds like a day. Zama represents the harmony that has been built up for centuries. The hope for the nation of those without walls between their hearts. We must protect this harmony. Do you know what that means? Yes, we are going to Kabawanga and set our Hekamas free. Okay. Save, I guess. Okay, so apparently I must have closed out that folder. I need to pull that up again so I can get the last bit of the Aurion combinations. This game gives me achievements like it was candy. I'm pretty sure I got like 20 of them during the stream. And tomorrow we'll play this game again. I imagine we'll probably be finishing it up relatively soon, so... Okay, I forgot how I fast travel. Oh, bitch. Okay. Which... Okay, screw it. We'll just take a boat. Or better yet, I need to check out the other places, I guess. Yeah, I know my sim's not provisioned. Shut up. Just load up the chat. There we go. Have to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, okay. Nothing missed. There we go. How are you doing, Staples? Just buy all the AP items. It's fine. Yeah, don't care. Confirm purchase. Yep. Okay. Oh, return to your roots. Huh. Okay, there's an achievement for that. Fantastic. Okay, what do you got for me? Teamwork. Seriously, how many times do I have to click on that? I'm an idiot. I had to walk up to... It was an option at the port. Coaboanga, the continent of the Boanga tribe, those who have dedicated their lives to understanding of Aurion. It's on this land that NK was trained as a griot. It's not complete desert, but it's damn hot. I hope the Hakimas are doing well. Let's find out with where Nagarba took them. Find information for the... That was really stupid to try to figure out. Right now we don't know where the Hakimas are. We might have to explore the continent. That might not be necessary. Enzo Kori Odan Azama and Irni Kori Odan Queen Azama, what are you doing on the continent of Kabawanga? Huh. This time we don't have the right to an honorable protocol, I guess. Since when do I need Boja's permission to travel? Are you here to create an alliance with Bawanga Hummingbird to confront the Boja's tribe? The Bawanga Hummingbird? Are you talking about Juyu Nama? We don't know what you're talking about. We're here to find our Hakimas that you deported. To be clear, if you intend to stop us, you're going to risk your lives. Because of your intentions, we received an order to escort you back to Queen Dakina. Queen Dakina is here? And it looks like it has something to do with Nami Yodi. What's going on here? I guess we'll know more by talking with the Queen in person. We'll have to go with them. Very well, bring us to your Queen. I must admit, you're very stubborn, you people of Zama. I can count on one hand the people who have kept their lives in my sympathy after disobeying me. Most of them are people of Zama. Dramani, have you finally decided to support your mother against all odds? I am the heir prince of the Bojas. I don't have to justify myself, but in the name of our friendship, I know that things are more complicated than you think. Like you said, things are more complicated. We are here because we have reviewed our requirements in this forced alliance with the Boja. We have decided to take back our Hakimas. Zama has suffered throughout the centuries seeking its right to harmony. Nobody has the right to deprive us of this without our consent. Interesting. And how do you plan on defending this precious harmony without our help? The other tribes saw what Zama can do now. Irni and I are just as capable of defending our city, but I think you will continue to do everything to protect Zama. Your Boja Hakimas are already learning to make the eternal Aurionite. You won't want another tribe getting a hold of this secret. Your interests are for us to stay isolated. Which brings us to our requirements. You no longer have any need for the Zamanian Hakimas. Let us take them back to our city. Huh. It seems you've grown. I can feel a full Orionic awakening flows through you, King Azama. You've learned how to play your cards better, I must admit. But there seems to be an unexpected problem. The Hakimas are not under my control right now. What? You promised us you'd treat them well. What did you do with them? Calm down, Enzo. What do you know exactly about the Bawanga Hummingbird, about your Juyu Nami Yodi? She taught me everything, trained me since my father died. She's the one that saved Irni when you attacked us. We also know about the night your mother became the Queen of Boja. We know that Juyu Nama wants revenge on Boja. What's the link between Nagarba and the Hakimas? If you're asking, it's because you don't know everything about your Juyu. Nama Yodi is the queen of the Bawanga tribe and Dramani's aunt in direct line of descent. Wait, what? Nama Yodi's brother, the one who died to protect her, is Dramani's father? Okay, I didn't see that coming. I told you it was complicated. His name was Demeter Yodi. He was the Bawanga's youthful king. We met well before the dawn of forgiveness. He's the only man I ever loved, but he died because of me. We lived through the time I hope you'll never experience. My father, Kudan Akiran, former king of Boja, and my brother, Crown Prince Mobu, were convicted of our tribal superior... were convinced of our tribal superiority. The Boja's old tribal glyph was designed to illustrate this totalitarian vision. A Boja's place is in the heavens above the firmament. Every Boja was raised on this mentality. At the time, I was a young and idealistic princess of the family. I dreamt of being able to unite the tribes and pay for my people's mistakes, for Ukungu Damu, and all the tragedies that followed. I read extensively and researched the true nature of the Aurion. I was sure understanding the essence of life could help me change the world. After years of research, everything led me back to the principle of the Aurionic communion. So I came up with a term that became the Dawn of Forgiveness, a place where all Aurionics could commune with the souls. I introduced my father and my brother Mobu to the idea. They laughed at my naivety, of course. According to them, no Aurionic from another tribe would ever come to Boja, given perpetual tensions of war. However, I did make them promise that if the other tribes were willing to make peace gesture, then Boja would organize the tournament. My heart filled with hope, I set on a journey to meet with the greatest Aurionics from each tribe. After traveling for months through untold dangers, I met only with disappointment. Not one Aurionic from Wanaga, Isao, or Weisao wanted to put faith in my plan. Without hope, I then went to Bwanga. You see, the Bwangas have no big cities. They are a nomadic and peace-loving people who have dedicated their life to meditating and the true nature of the Aurion. On arriving, I was surprised to hear the news of Bwanga King, a young Aurionic who had awakened all his pillars and who had united the nomads under a single banner several months ago. When I met him, he had an instantaneous Aurionic awakening. It transpired that he was also my Aurionic link. This young king was Demeter Yodi, Dramani's father, and also the brother of Nami Juyu. I spent the moments of my life with Demeter and Nama. We shared the same dream. We spent much time discussing together the ways we could save the world. What in the beginning was nothing but friendship and admiration between Demeter and I became love. Nama also played her part as a matchmaker. When I think about it, we were so happy. Demeter and Nama traveled with me as guarantors so that other Aurionics would agree to come to Boja's tournament. It took a long time, but we were successful. Several Aurionics joined our caravan. We dreamt of being the generation without walls. We returned home for the Borgia tournament. You surely know the rest. Treachery of my father and brother, and the cowardly assassination of the Aurionics through poison. I myself was drugged and imprisoned. All night long, the bodies of my friends were thrown in front of me, those who had trusted me. I went mad, and I saw Demeter's body in that hole. It was more than the death of one man, more than the death of one that I loved. I realized that I was responsible for the death of a dream. The death of a very bright part of the global Aurion. I couldn't accept it. But you must have already seen that the human soul often fulfills its full potential when facing absolute suffering. The deepest darkness is often the best place to kindle one's greatest light, and that's what I was able to awaken completely. When I came to power at King Boja, I did everything I could to show that things wouldn't stay the same. I changed the tribal glyph and I rid Boja tribe of all those who took the hard line. But Nama Yodi never forgave me for the death of Demeter. She started helping Boja's enemies throughout the world. This was when she got herself a reputation on the battlefield. The Bwanga Hummingbird, a merciless Aurionic capable of destroying whole battalions of Bojas all by herself. I was pregnant with Dramine at the time and could not easily move around to support our armies. But several weeks after Dramine was born, I defeated Nama in a battle up to the north of Wanaga. I left her alive and I offered her the chance to join me and make an old dream a reality. Dramine was all she had left of her brother Demeter. She'd be able to live with him. She stayed with us for several days, long enough to recover from her wounds, and disappeared once more. We lost all trace of her until I learned that she was at Zama, far from the world and its conflicts. Queen of Bojas, at least we understand your past better, but what's that got to do with our Hakimas? Why bring them here, and why can't we see them? Mother, they deserve an explanation. No, excuse me. Very well, Zama wasn't the only strategic asset, just in terms of the secret of eternal Aurionite. There's something greater still that only the Zama Hakimas can awaken, here on the continent of Kabawanga, there in the eastern ruins known as the Kajuta Ro'o. I tasked Nagarba with leading the Hakimas to Kajuta Ro'o and protecting them, so that they can grant me this power, which is even greater than the eternal Umoja. We had no news of them for several weeks. We were too caught up with the Wanaga rebellion in the north to be able to go anywhere. We sent several messengers who didn't return. When we got to the place ourselves, we understood. Apparently Nagarba and the Hakimas are under siege at Kajutu Ro'o by an army of Bawanga nomads who also have eternal Aurionites. You mean... Nama Yodi, the Bawanga hummingbird, has left her exile. She has been secretly raising an army of Aurionites all these years. She learned of the eternal Umoja during her stay in Zama. She also converts what we're looking for in Kajutu Ro'o. What is it then? The thing that you think is worth putting my people's lives at stake again for. You don't need to know. Your intentions are not yet clear to us. All that matters right now is that you have to wait until you rescue Nagarba and his party from the siege if you want to see Hakimas again. Not yet. I still got a few minutes. Unless you decide to help us, your aid has greatly helped moving things forward in Kawanga. Besides, I have to get through this chat. No, I think we will skip our turn this time. Zama's collateral victim of your awakening plan. We'll save them ourselves. You're free to try by yourselves. Nama Yodi's camp and Kajuta Ro'o are the east of the continent. Mother? Very well, you are free to go. But let us be clear, if you interfere with my awakening plan, I will consider every inhabitant of Zama as an enemy. Understood. You had no intention of letting them go, did you? Indeed, I also think you made a mistake when you acted just now. You were only thinking of your feelings for them. You should have thought about their long-term interests by holding them back. Why did you support my decision, then? Because you still need to fail so you can understand. You're the future king of the Bojas and perhaps even Bawanga. You have to live with the choices you make today your whole life. Being a good parent is also about letting your children make their own mistakes and letting them take responsibility for them. You'll understand one day, I hope. Juju Nama is the queen of the Bawanga nomads, and she's also Dramani's aunt. After all these years, she still wants her vengeance. Do you think she will let us reach the Hakimas easily? You never know with her. We should just hurry. The Hakimas are in danger with Nagarba. Juju Nama, I'm nervous at the idea of seeing her again. Okay, stay here. Hug doggo. She ran to her bed. Looks like nobody's here, but I feel like we're being watched. The welcoming committee? Enzo and Irni Kori Odan, your presence is not welcome in this place. Please turn back or we will use force. Juyunama already told them about us. We come in peace. We wanted to meet Nami Yoda, your queen. We're here for our hekemas at Kajuta Rojo. We're not your enemies. What a lovely surprise. The king and queen Zama have come to visit me. Yep, still hot. Alright guys, I'll talk to them. Nama, is that wise? They might be Boja spies. Okay, I hope you know what you're doing. That's better. Let's go and talk inside. I'm sure you've got a lot to tell me. Oh, great. More talking. How's Kitty, Mr. Craig? I'm relieved that you've survived. You've grown a lot since I left you at Figgle. Sleeping? Irna, you have become a very strong woman. You do great honor to the Queen's Zama battle gear. I don't doubt that you'll become a formidable Aurionic when you seek your own awakenings. I've begun to think about it. I'm going on my own Aurionic pilgrimage as soon as we have finished with everything. I'm just a little surprised, Jujunama. Why did your warriors call you by your first name? You're the queen and their general, after all. The Bwanga's hierarchy is circular. We see brotherhood and equality as very important. My warriors are all above my Aurionic brothers and sisters. Enzo, I'm happy you were able to commune with your father, Nabi. He deserved to rest in peace. Juyu, I'm worried about you. I've fought alongside the Bojas. Are you sure you want to risk your life, as well as those of your warriors? Takina could still negotiate. Risk my life? I wouldn't start this war if I didn't have the advantage. You surely know me better than that, young King Azama. In your opinion, why hasn't Takina attacked yet? If she's so sure she'll win, let me tell you something about this war. My warriors and I defeated Nagarba and his troops a few weeks ago. They took refuge in Kajuta Rojo with the Hekimas. They activated the ruins' Aurionic barriers. My Marabout units are now breaking through this barrier, but it's resisting us. Nagarba has very likely asked Zama's Hekimas to reinforce it. Takina cannot attack me until she has at least double my troops. She has to wait for Boja reinforcements. If she moves her army, these soldiers will be exhausted from traveling through the desert before they engage us. She knows this. She's going to rely on the strength of numbers. Before then, I'll have broken through Kajuta Rojo's defensive barrier. When I get my hands on Kajuta Rojo's power, she won't be able to do a thing. Nobody will be able to do anything. So what is this power you all want so much, and what do you think it's worth risking the lives of Zama's Hekimas? If this power is so decisive, Nagarba won't hesitate to get rid of the Hekimas instead of handing them over to you. I can't tell you everything, but it's the kind of power which would mean you could stop all conflict everywhere without causing any casualties. With such an advantage, Bwanga could fix all Boja mistakes. Some stakes are worth any risk. Zama's Hekimas are the key to activating this power. You can't have them back before I've achieved my goals. Juyunama, out of every driving force we've come across with Aurionics, vengeance is the most futile. I can't believe you risked the lives of the Hekimas and your soldiers for a reason like that. Dakina will never change. She's managed to make you believe she's got the monopoly on progress. I don't think she's even doing it deliberately. She must be convinced she's right. It's not about a vengeance anymore for me. I've already been down that road. I've drunk the waters which poison the soul, and I've cleansed myself of rage. You see these iron plates around my arms? They hold together the bones I broke by striking shield after Boja's shield. Wow. Well, that sucks. I'm going to fight Dakina Archairon because I've got my own vision on the Worldwide Awakening, and there's not enough room for both our creeds in this world. Are you surprised I'm a Bwanga when all's said and done? My people are the ones who taught the Queen of the Boja about the reality of the global Aurion. You should have understood this by now. All of humanity's battles have only one thing at stake: changing the global Aurion and establishing a real purpose of the human race for good. This is the true meaning of free will, the weight and the blessing of humanity. Dakina wants to build a world based on the awakening of individuals. She's convinced that fully awakened beings would live in harmony, but she's wrong. The Aurion has no concept of good or evil. Legacies are given to both the brave and the tyrannical. Imagine a world where Koros was able to achieve full awakening just like that. How about Doroba? Just because children have been brought up in the same environment doesn't mean they'll all turn out well balanced. Her awakening plan could also strengthen the abilities of those who are bad by their very nature. My solution is to force individuals to think of others. I will imprint an ideology for the common good on the global Aurion which will wipe out the individual ego forever. Make all souls want the same thing, but history's shown us that you can't make all humanity work towards the same end. The diversity of humans' desires will always take over in the end. You can't eliminate diversity, but you can curb it, make it express itself the way you want it to. Restrict the choices free will has to choose from. It's the only way to get rid of the human ego. I shall exert pressure on the global Aurion in order to create a world where the group will always outweigh the individual. I will go beyond worldwide awakening. I will make every soul the Aurionic link for another. The Bwanga circle of brotherhood will encompass every soul. That sounds just as bad. Do you understand me now? As your Juju, I would be proud to have you at my side in this war. We understand your goals, but our priority is to get our Hekimas back. We don't want to have to choose sides between Boja and Bwanga. You won't get the luxury of staying neutral. If you want your Hekimas back, you'll have to side with me or Dakina. If that's the case, give us a few days to think about it at least. You don't have a few days. Dakina will surely attack very soon now. You need to have decided by then. Hey. The next time we see each other, perhaps you'll be my enemy, so in the last few moments that I'm still your Juju, I want you to know that I'm very proud of you, Enzo Kori Odan. You've always been more than my Juju. You're like a mother to me. I'll never see you in any other way. It makes no difference to me if the duty we each have calls on us to fight each other. You should go. This is so frustrating. I've got all my Aurionic pillars, but it's like nothing has changed. We still have to fit with circumstances that other people created. I understand. I find those things frustrating too, but there's something I don't get. If Nagarba is with the Hekimas and he's in Kajuta Rojo, why hasn't he used the power from the ruins to put an end to the siege and get out of there? That's true, I hadn't thought of that. There could be several reasons. Maybe Takina would use it as betraying her if he used the power, but it's very strange, though, isn't it? We have to find out what's hidden in Kajuto Rojo. If Nama or Takina won't tell us, we'll have to look elsewhere. This is the continent where N.K. Solarius was trained. The chief, Griot, must be somewhere nearby. I think he's the only person who can guide us. Oh, there was something. I want the free stuff. Give me free stuff. Thank you. I should also get that other one. Yep, more free stuff. AP. Hello, Shagar here. Thank you for watching part 19 of Aurion. A bit late on me getting this video edited because it's been a long day. And I'm going to take a nap before work. So, enjoy the pickle. Yeah, this stuff is nasty. Unless you like pickles, go for it. But I don't like it. It's gross. So, tomorrow, more of the same. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all later.